Hello, Targ, friends. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again, it's time for another work mode workout. And today, well, this would be where our max effort slot is going to be. I went ahead and just did rep work today. Skipped on the max. I'll get back into doing full maxes again next week. DEs are coming up towards the end of the week. My body's kind of at a point to where, yeah, the maxing 4 days a week, it's becoming a recovery issue while cutting. I'm just not jiving it anymore. So we're going to switch back to MEDE for the reasons I broke down in the video the other day. So today I just went with, again, percentages of my maxes to work with on just 4 exercises. I did my deep box squats with the safety squat bar, which my max was pretty weak on that. So we'll be testing those maxes. A lot of what I'm going to do is going to be these lifts off the 11-inch box. I'm going to rotate through all of my bars, test the maxes periodically. We'll probably start working some deadlifts back in. My DE is going to be a little bit more deadlift specialized. My squats have gotten pretty strong. I'm not worried about sheer muscle memory. Let's say I finish my cut, I just do a bunch of deep box squatting, and I lose a hair of muscle in my quads. I'll regain it off muscle memory. I'm not that worried. I would rather specialize a little more in the deadlift, and I know that I'll have a ridiculous squat at a lighter body weight if I just push the squat hard again. It's what we've done a few times in the past. It's how I got it up to 600. But these deeper boxes are going to get me the benefits that I want of getting into those deep positions so that I know I can hit depth, finding my stances that let me get super deep, and then having to explode from that position off the box. I'm going to be doing the same thing on the speed work. All right, I'm going to try to do deep boxes for all the speed work. Deep boxes build deadlifts very, very well, by the way. And I'm probably going to do higher volumes of pulling. Right? It's not going to be like you see on a lot of my templates for my lifters to where their box squat volume is double their pulling volume. It's not going to be like that. I may even shift it towards more total volume on the speed pulls. And I'm going to start with sumos. And then we'll start rotating in different deadlifts too. And just do a standard MEDE like I did before. Same sort of templates I've used to get really good deadlifts in the past. And I know that if I train that way, again, my squat comes up as soon as I start back squatting again. We're right back to elite numbers. So with these, again, this is at 80%, 4 sets of 5. And I've had people question that in the comments, like, I don't understand, sets of 5 and 80%, that can't be challenging. It's like, yeah, it is. Multiple sets of 5, you're going to be getting pretty close to no reps in reserve on your last set usually. The first set's not that bad. Okay, fatigue builds up, but 5s at 80% have 3 effective reps. They have 3 effective reps, just like 10s at 70%. I've had people try to say, oh, 70% is too heavy for 10s. This program calls for 50 or 60%. It's like, yeah, but you're not getting effective reps. You're getting 3 at 70%. You're getting the same number on 5s at 80%. Very comparable in terms of hypertrophy. I decided not to do 5s with the safety bar Good Mornings. Why? I just don't want that much pressure on my neck. Not for a bunch of reps. So I went with 10s with a weight I know I can handle for 10s, which is 291 for 3 by 10. Again, actually felt really good on my back and on my hamstrings. Again, because I haven't done these as much lately. I don't think I've done them in a couple weeks. So I've only done, when I've been doing them, the cambered bar. It felt good to just change it up, get these in. And I'll probably do back and forth between these 2 bars. And I have a feeling on my dynamic days, I may not be wanting to do a lot of Good Mornings. We'll see how they go. Depending upon how the volume goes, I'll probably be doing mostly just glute ham raises and reverse hypers on those. Because I'm going to ramp the volume pretty hard eventually on the speed pulls. And especially against bands. So it might be what we do. But for now, these work. And so it's just box squats today, Good Mornings, glute ham raises, and reverse hypers. Very posterior chain dominant. We're still getting quad work. I'm going to get a lot more quad work on my speed days. I think especially because I'm going to probably stick with sumo pulls and deficit pulls, deficit conventionals. So we're going to get plenty of quad activation on top of the box squatting. And quads are not a problem for me. I have really big quads. They're not an issue for me on squatting these days. Not a problem. I need to get the rest of the muscles built up. And again, so we're going to be a little more focused on deadlifting because my deadlift had regressed. But I know how to build a deadlift. We've done it before, and I've done it off speed work. A lot of my lifters have very serious pulls, and we do it off speed work. So that's the way I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to a little closer to the older way I trained before this last phase. The way I trained most of my clients, and they have great success. And I have no doubt that I'll continue to have success. What I'm going to have to find is that sweet spot on upper body volume while cutting, though. And I have to find a sweet spot there. But I have a feeling transitioning to the DE work is going to resolve a lot of that for me. It's going to resolve a lot of that overall fatigue, while still keeping everything moving. Glute ham raises, I just did a 10-pounder, and I did 3 sets of 12. The first set wasn't bad. The last set, getting 12, was very, very hard with this 10. Fortunately for me, no hamstring cramping from any of it. So I'm not getting quite the same residual fatigue I get from the deficit deadlifts. So those deficit deadlifts leave my hamstrings hammered. It's hard to even get 10s with this. And interestingly enough, the safety squat bar, even though I feel that a lot more in my hamstrings, I feel more hamstring activation, I'm not generating as much overall fatigue. And as much as I like doing rep work off a deficit deadlift, I don't know that it serves me best at the moment, especially cutting. And once the speed pulls are worked in, I think it's going to be not really a problem. And I'll probably start rotating deadlifts back in for maxes. And we'll see how my grip has been coming along, right? We've done a lot of grip work. Really, my training itself is very grip heavy with all the pull-ups and rows now. The dead hangs that I do for my impingement that I do every single day. And by the way, for anyone curious, I linked a video of me doing one on the Facebook fitness page. Right, I've linked it so anyone who wants to go see it, if they haven't yet, I'm showing me doing one, so you guys have an idea of what I mean by a dead hang. But I do those 3 times a day, and I feel like that's going to improve my grip. I think doing the speed pulls against bands tends to work my grip quite a bit too. I think we're going to be good there. But I think the biggest thing for me is that dead hangs are also a form of grip training, and since I do them every day, I feel like that has taken over a big chunk of my grip specialization. And I think as long as I do that and I continue to try to get as strong as possible on pull-ups and rows, I think my grip is going to kind of be where I want it to be, right? It's going to be where I want it to be. And if I need to throw in a little bit of axle bar work, we might do some axle bar work once a week, whatever we need to do. I'd probably not do it on Mondays, so in case I have to pull heavy on Tuesdays. So I might work those back in. But yeah, this is more of a deadlift specialization day. When you think of a deep box squat like that, that's well below parallels, probably 2 to 3 inches, with the cambered bar, or not the cambered bar, the safety squat bar, that's a phenomenal deadlift tool. The Good Morning, great deadlift tool with the safety squat bar. I feel like the cambered bar carries over to squats a little more, just me personally. Glute ham raises get those hamstrings up, and then we're doing reverse hypers. And I stuck with what I've been doing, 5-10 for 3 sets of 25. And I kind of took the third set to an AMRAP, and I got around, I think, 27. I just tried to push it a little bit further, which again lets us know if 27 is basically all I can do, then we're still in that effective rep range with the first 2 sets at 25. You know, and there's a logistics issue with this. Yes, we could argue that there could be a lot of benefits to the really high reps for the low back recovery. But it's also a logistics issue. Fitting plates on these things. I don't have enough calibrated plates to load much more. Right? I don't have enough. I can basically get to about 5-10 on this before I start running into problems actually putting plates. You know, if I had more calibrated plates, I could do more, but it's only rated to 700 pounds. So it's like if people say, well, you could go even heavier. Not really. Not much. Because if we're doing sets of 25 with 5-10, what would a 10 rep max be? It would exceed the capacity of this machine. So there's going to reach a point on this to where, I don't know, I just do more and more reps. So again, it's a practicality on the reverse hyper. Although I tend to program really high reps for a lot of my guys. I'll start them with 10s and we'll work up towards 25s. But yeah, I mean, we just have to stay strong on this, and I'm gonna keep it strong. I'm gonna continue to push progression on this because of, again, the potential for deadlift. Right? My squats are my best lift at this point. When I've hit a 605 squat on a cambered bar, and the best deadlift you guys have seen me pull is 625, we're getting to where my deadlifts just need more work. And even if the squat regresses a little during the cut, we can hopefully bring the deadlift up so that everything balances out. But then when I go back to gaining a little bit of muscle, the squat will shoot back up. I'm not that worried. So again, I can train all the box work and get all the benefits of the box work and not really freak out if I'm not putting up high 500 or 600 plus on anything, right? Not a big deal. I just get all my bars and stuff even up to off of that deep box. If I'm getting any of my bars, particularly the straight bar, even up to 550 off that deep box, my squat will be well past 600. All right, my back squat. Again, anyone who's worked with box work understands this. But today was again a slightly easier day. It was still hard work. It was still quality work. No maxes in there. I feel like I need just a breather. We'll rotate into the DE, and then to next week it will be a full-on max effort and dynamic effort session as I adjust everything again. And we'll get back to flowing the way that we used to with that sort of template. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.